Hello YouTube, bit of a different video today. It's not even that sunny in the UK right now, but I'm getting very majorly blinded by how bright it is. Whoa, why are we upside down? So I'm just laid in my hammock in my mum's and dad's garden, and I wanted to talk about today. I'm gonna have to have my hand over my face because it's majorly bright. I just wanted to talk about make it a little short video rather than a vlog, but more so about what this year has taught me about myself, okay? Because I feel like I'm a changed person. Like, we're always growing and evolving as humans, and we're always changing. So when somebody says, oh, you've changed, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, we're obviously going to be different because we've got life experiences, because we go through tough times, good times, and they're going to change the people that we are, okay? So today I kind of wanted to reflect because we're coming to the end of June, we're 6 months into the year, and I feel like it's a good time for reflection. So this year for me changed me a lot. And it's not just from like work and personal life as a whole. It changed how I see myself as a person, how I see life and everything that goes on kind of behind the scenes, I guess, all the time. And I didn't realize how much I actually needed this shift in life because it's made me a completely different person. Like, if I look at the person I was at the beginning of the year, I felt very lost, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I felt settled, you know, living in Dubai and whatnot, I still felt pretty lost in myself. Like, even with work and stuff, it just wasn't fulfilling me. I remember doing a video on this, and I love my job so much, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was doing enough. So that's when I incorporated my Her Health events, running events, because I feel like I was impacting more people and changing people's lives and helping people with the confidence and the health based on what I've been through in the past, right? So I don't know, I just felt like I needed more passion, not more passion, more purpose, more reason. I don't know what it was. It's just the thing that I was looking for earlier this year, I finally feel like I've achieved. That shift has really hit me. Obviously, like, people looking from the outside in, they'll be like, oh, she's really got her shit together, you know, she's living in Dubai, she's this, she's that, but you don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. Like, being a business owner in itself is very stressful and very difficult. You work in 24/7, you're out for meals, you're out with your friends, you're always on your phone, always, you know, it's just part and parcel of being a business owner. And people really do forget that. Like, imagine if you have a 9 to 5, you can go and switch off, but if you've got a business, you never switch off. And that was something that I really struggled with. And especially after the ayahuasca retreat that I did, a lot of stuff came to me around kind of, you know, staying focused, but also letting go of control and allowing other people to help me and not stressing as much. Like, my clients will laugh at this if they're listening, but if I didn't get up and do my check-ins right away, this moment I got up, I had anxiety. If I didn't answer messages straight away, I got anxiety. And that was counterproductive because I'd never get anything done. And it's like, nobody needed that urgently. So I actually learned to understand that. And instead of being constantly on autopilot, which obviously for my health isn't great, I'm now really listening to my body a lot more and just taking it easy, and it's changed the way my productivity, it's just changed my mindset completely, you know, because I felt like I was constantly doing things but not always checking in with myself. And I always tell my clients to check in with themselves, and I never used to do that. So I need to do things that I tell my clients to do, basically, because yeah, I'm well good at giving advice but not necessarily taking it on board myself. And even little things like, you know, success, right? We measure success by how we feel, but it's always the case of, like, you achieve something and then you're happy for about 30 seconds and then you're on to the next thing and chasing more and more and more. And I've come to the realization that it's not about, like, success, and it's not about how much money you make or what things you have. It's actually about fulfillment. So how fulfilled you feel doing what you do and loving it. And what fulfills me more rather than a successful month is seeing how happy my clients are when they come back to me and they say, you know, oh, I feel great, thank you so much. Like, that means way more to me than a successful month. Like, yes, obviously we need successful months, we need good months to be able to live, but at the same time, that's not all it is. There's so much more to it. And when it comes to my personal life, I feel like I've become more aware of my emotional patterns. Like, I'm a very self-aware person, and I've done the work to be a self-aware person. But I wasn't always in control of my emotions, whereas now I'm so much more in control, and I've learned how to control them and what to do if I'm struggling, if I'm not feeling the greatest. So I feel like that's been one thing that I've really learned to do, is to self-regulate. I started setting better boundaries with people, with work, with family. I started being, more aligned with myself and choosing myself more, because I am the most important person in my life, and I feel like I've healed a lot of my, not negative, not toxic, like a lot of the cycles that needed breaking. When I went to do ayahuasca, it was obviously just something that I've always wanted to do, and it brought up a lot of things which made me understand why I was the way I was and why I'm the way I am. And since I've done the ayahuasca, I'm so much more calmer, and I'm so much more in tune with myself, and I'm able to recognize things a lot more and not attach myself to things. I just feel like it's changed me as a person. It showed me fears and patterns a lot more clearly. It didn't fix me, it just made me more self-aware, I would say. And most importantly, it helped me slow down and reflect on life. And they say, once you do ayahuasca, it still has its effects weeks after, and your body just keeps, you as a person, you just keep changing throughout, and how you handle situations. And I can definitely see a huge difference in myself. Little things I've kind of learned about myself this year so far in the last 6 months is that I actually needed more stillness in my life. I actually needed more relaxation. It's just what my body needed, and I feel better from it. And I wasn't always fully honest with myself, and I feel like when we go through hard decisions, what your brain thinks and what your gut's telling you and what your heart's telling you are all different things, and it's being more in tune with your emotions and what your body is actually telling you. So I wasn't always fully honest with myself from that perspective, and I'd make up excuses for myself and whatnot. So that's something that's always going to be a work in progress, because it's not the easiest thing to do, right? It's just calling yourself out basically as a human. It's easier to call someone else out, but yourself, it's not as easy. Another thing that I wanted to mention is about growth, because we always think that, growth is about adding more to your life, etc. When actually, real growth sometimes comes from removing things, and it could be people, it could be patterns out of your life, and that's actually growth as well. And I feel like I've definitely done that, where I've done things this year that I probably wouldn't have done in the past, that have helped me grow in a different way, by removing myself from situations, by removing people out of my life, etc. What's changed in me as a person? I would say one of the things that's changed in me is I don't force things that I don't feel aligned with. So, in the past, maybe it's not that I forced things, but I would really try to make things work. But in reality, is you need to think, right, well, if this isn't aligning with me, why am I forcing it? Like, it's clearly not aligning with me for a reason. And I value my peace a lot more now over constant productivity, because, like I say, I was always go, 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 go. The more you do, the better things will be, when actually, no, you're just working against the energy. So I actually value my peace a lot more. I've slowed down a lot of areas of my life that I needed to slow down in. Still work in progress, because it's not easy. It doesn't just change overnight. You need to be constantly working on it. And I actually base my decision now on how I feel, and not just the logic or the pressure, etc. I actually try to tune in with myself. Obviously, sometimes you're going to be confused. You're not going to know, which we all experience that. But trying to be more in tune with your body, and I am far more intentional with my energy, where I place my energy, who I give my energy to. I've got a tattoo that I got done last year, like next to my heart, and it says protect your energy, and I live by that. Like, you have to protect your energy from every single angle. So as a final reflection, this year has taught me to be more honest with myself. It's taught me that growth isn't always going to be exciting or loud. Sometimes it takes time to see growth. You just have to reflect upon it. And when you reflect on it and you slow down, that's when you notice it more. I feel like I'm still becoming the person I've wanted to be, in many areas of my life, but I definitely feel more grounded and more in tune with myself, and just generally happier. Don't really have any sad moments. I used to struggle with my mood a lot, and I feel like that's definitely stabilised, because I'm just more true to myself, and I'm far more in control of my emotions. So if you are somebody who's in a similar phase as me, whether you're still working on yourself, which as humans we are all work in progress, we're always going to be working on ourselves. We're never perfect people, and I think people need to realise that as well, that you're not perfect, your partner's not perfect, your family's not perfect, but it's realising how much you're willing to accept and the boundaries and weighing out the pros and the cons, right? So far I'm really proud of myself for the growth this year, and I'm going to carry on growing, even if sometimes that means taking things away. So bit of a different video for you all, but I like to give an update every now and again on life and my true feelings and emotions, because I'm not a robot. I go through struggles, I go through hard times just as many other people do, so it's only fair that I share that. And I feel like if you can relate and there's something in here that I've said that's helped somebody, then I've done one thing right, So I hope you all have a lovely day, and I've taken 13 minutes out of your day to inspire you. And I've had my hand here this whole time because shit, we're bright out here, I swear. But don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts, your growth, what you feel you've worked on this year, that you've improved on, things you want to work on, and subscribe to the channel for weekly content, 2 videos a week, educational and a bit of personal, so you get to know me as a person. And I'll see you next week.